Rain tapped gently against the windows of 46 Lower Belgrave Street, but inside the house, the tension was loud enough to drown it out. Sandra Rivet, the nanny, moved through the dimly lit kitchen, cleaning up after putting the children to bed. She checked the hallway. Quiet. Too quiet. The basement lights flickered. A shadow shifted behind her. Before she could turn, a heavy object struck the back of her head. The world folded into darkness. Upstairs, Lady Veronica Lucan sat reading, unaware that her life was about to split in two. Veronica heard footsteps, then a soft dragging sound. "Rivet?" she called out. No response. She walked down the stairs and froze. At the bottom, a shape lay still. A red smear trailed across the floor. Suddenly, a hand grabbed her throat. She screamed. The face she saw in the dimness was unmistakable. "Stop fighting, Veronica," Lord Lucan hissed. The pressure around her neck tightened. She clawed at his hands, desperate, terrified, until she managed to sink her fingers into his eyes. He stumbled back, cursing, and she fled toward the street. She would later tell detectives the words that shattered Britain. "It was my husband." Lucan's voice remained calm as he phoned his mother. "There was a terrible accident at the house. Veronica's hurt." He didn't mention the nanny. He didn't mention the blood. He hung up, slipped into his car, and drove into the night as though following a script he'd rehearsed for years. Friends later recalled him as composed, almost eerily so. He shared drinks, told pieces of the story, each version shifting like smoke. But when police arrived at his usual haunts, Lord Lucan was gone. Detectives pieced together fragments: a crumbling marriage, a vicious custody battle, mounting debts. His obsession with reclaiming funeral theories spread like wildfire. Some believed he'd planned to kill Veronica, reclaim the children, restore his reputation. Others swore he was framed by circumstance and panic. But the blood in the basement told his own story. Sandra Rivet had been murdered. Mistaken identity or something far darker. 2 days later, Lucan's Ford Corsair was found abandoned in Sussex. Inside, bloodstains, a length of lead pipe. 2 letters. One letter claimed he had walked in on an attack already happening. Another protested his innocence. Yet neither letter explained the silence that followed. Lucan had vanished not just from London, but from the world. The case exploded through newspapers. Every lead turned into mist. Sightings in South Africa. Rumors of him living with wealthy allies. Stories of a suicide at sea. Claims he became a recluse in a monastery. Theories he was smuggled out by aristocratic friends. Nobody. No confession, no closure. Veronica Lucan lived for decades with the belief he had died shortly after fleeing. But many insisted he lived on, protected, hidden, untouchable. Years later, a retired banker approached police with a story he had kept silent for decades. He claimed that on a stormy night in 1974, a group of Lucan's closest friends met him at a secluded Sussex property. According to the banker, Lucan was shaking, frightened, defeated. He confessed not to murder, but to losing control. He believed he had killed his wife by mistake. When he learned it was the nanny, the shock broke him. The banker claimed the men decided to protect the aristocratic name. A glass of whiskey was poured. Lucan drank. No one ever saw him leave the house alive. The same night, a small motorboat was reportedly taken from the property's private dock. It returned empty. No proof, no witnesses, just a story whispered too late to change history. To this day, the Lord Lucan Mystery lives on, one of Britain's greatest vanishing acts. Was he murdered by his own allies? Did he live abroad under an assumed identity? Did he truly believe he was killing Veronica? Or was it all a desperate, tragic spiral of a man who lost everything, including himself? The truth remains buried beneath privilege, fear, and time. But one thing is certain: Lord Lucan walked into the night and never returned. If you enjoyed this story, like, share, and subscribe for more gripping true crime narratives.